Let's look at our lives. It's going to be lived. Whether we have one more day or 100 more years, it's going to be lived. The question is, what are we going to do with it? We can leave this meeting tonight, and we can keep going on with everything we've done up to now. Or we can make a meeting like tonight a turning point. We can make a meeting like tonight a night to resolve to change. That I'm not just going to give lip service to these 13 resolutions. That just as someone who chooses to get into physical shape will have to make some resolutions on probably what they're eating and how they're exercising, something so much greater really on the big scale, what about someone's mental fitness? What about somebody's thinking? Just as you could have a flabby body, so much worse in so many ways is flabby thinking. Why do we see so many people? We got a society, there's so many things are going down, but you see so many, man, I'm running 10 miles a day and I'm doing this, and I have nothing against any of that. But all I would say is, why wouldn't we at least give the same level of commitment to this? From here down, we're all worth minimum wage. There are many men in this room that I'm convinced could beat Bill Gates in an arm wrestling contest. But he's got us a little bit up here because he's applied some principles. And I'm just using him as an example. There are many others. But you know what? It's not just material wealth. In fact, the most important things, the things that bring the most joy, because I think if we were to do a poll, as many do, they say the thing that most people want in life is to be happy. Can I tell you a secret about happiness? Happiness is not something to be pursued directly. Happiness is actually something that remains out here that only is accomplished when we're pursuing something that matters. When we begin to pursue our purpose and do something that truly counts, all of a sudden we find that we're happy even though we weren't looking for it. In fact, George Washington's life, interesting story. Catherine Kirsten again, she says, what would Washington have accomplished if happiness rather than integrity and service had been his life goal? Instead of suffering with his men through the snows of Valley Forge, he might have followed the example of Benedict Arnold, another Revolutionary War general. Though brave and talented, Arnold valued his own well-being and prosperity above all else. Out of self-interest, he plotted to betray West Point to the British and died a traitor to his nation. The interesting thing about selfishness is it accomplishes the exact opposite of what the selfish person intended. Because Benedict Arnold wanted so bad to be the guy, he ended up hated not only in America, but hated in England. He died alone in England. We have one life. We need to make it count. We can talk about changing the world all we want, but changing the world, we know it has to start with changing ourselves. And that's what the 13 resolutions are. It's the beginning of the change that will eventually change the world. God bless you guys.